Hi everyone, welcome back. I am really excited to film today. We are going to be diving into LYS Beauty. It's LYS Beauty. LYS, I believe is how the brand says it. But I am super excited because I've actually tried some of their products out before and I have favorites from their brand. But I also decided to purchase their foundation and their new concealer that everyone's been raving about. And also I picked up another shade in the cream blush because I didn't like the shade that I picked out the first time I was trying out their brand. So I really haven't used that formula a lot, but I figured if I got a shade that I actually enjoyed, I might be a little more into that product. But I'm really excited to get started playing with some of these products. I like LYS Beauty as a brand, and I really like the shape of their products. It's a triangle. I love triangles. Anyways, before we get started, I would love if you would hit that subscribe button. It would mean so much to me, and we'll get going. I am still going to prime. I'm going to go in with my Tarte Smoothing Primer, just because this is what I've been doing lately, and I really enjoy this primer. Plus I've got some acne that I wouldn't mind filling in a little bit. So I like to take this on my chin, my forehead, and like on the sides of my nose to just help really fill in all of my pore heavy areas. I do also like to take it between my eyebrows. I don't know about you, but I pluck my eyebrows, so right there tends to be pretty porous for me. Okay, so now for the foundation. This is their Triple Fix Serum Foundation with HA, hyaluronic acid, turmeric, and ashwagandha, something like that. And it does come with a pump, which is perfect, and it's triangle shape. I think that is so adorable. I really like triangles. But I've heard really good things about this foundation. I know Julia Adams really enjoys it, so figured I'd give it a go. So I picked up the shade LN6, Light Neutral 6. So I'm just going to pump some on the back of my hand. I did 2 pumps, so it is pretty runny, so very serum-y. And I'm going to go in with my Rare Beauty foundation brush. That actually seems to be a pretty good match for me. It's definitely serum-y, very light. It doesn't smell weird either. Now because it is a serum foundation, I'm not expecting super full coverage, kind of maybe light to medium, light buildable. So I'm just kind of stippling it in right now. Okay, so that's half of my face. I did this side. Definitely light to medium coverage. I think I probably built it up to medium. I applied a lot. I used 2 pumps. A little too much on my part, but it's actually laying on the skin quite nicely. It looks like skin. I do like how much I build it up though, because it covers the redness in my cheek. So hopefully I can get this side to match, but it's very lightweight, definitely comfortable, easy to apply. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this side done. And then I'm gonna take what's left on my hand, on my sponge, and just press everything in. We're all blended in now. I definitely do like the texture of this, definitely light to medium coverage. I will say it's kind of clinging to some of my dry spots. Like I have a little acne blemish here and it's kind of clinging there. I've got an almost healed one on my chin that it's kind of clinging to. So I will say if you have some dry patches, it might be a little clingy in those areas, but everywhere else is looking pretty darn good. So I did pick up 2 shades of the concealer because I wasn't sure. I ordered them off of Sephora and the website just wasn't giving me like a good vibe of which one was going to be my color. So I picked up the shade LN6, same as the foundation, and then I also picked up LN3, which I believe is the lightest shade. It just comes with a standard doe foot applicator. I'm just going to swatch these real fast. I'm thinking if LN6 is the same exact color as the foundation, I should probably go in with LN3 because concealers tends to be a bit more brightening. Yeah, I think I'll go in with LN3, which is the lighter one here. But just swatching it, the consistency is very similar to the foundation, very liquidy, serum-y. And then because I do one eye at a time, I'm also going to be setting my eyes with their Triple Fix Translucent Setting Powder. This is in the shade Resilience, which is translucent. I do like this powder. I will say I didn't have a lot of luck with it under my eyes, but I'm going to try it again under my eyes and to set the whole face. But we are going to go in with concealer, so I'm just going to apply it like I normally would. Some there, some here, and a little bit extra on the cheek to help cover up my redness. And then I have a clean Rare Beauty concealer brush that I like to blend it out with. Definitely blend it out very easily. It definitely looks brightening, especially on camera. In my mirror though, I don't get the full coverage aspect of it. So let's go in with a second layer. I know it may look like I'm applying a lot, but it's such a thin texture, such thin and serum-y, that it's actually not a whole lot of product. I think it may have added slight more coverage. The good news is that it builds, it just doesn't build a whole lot. We'll make do. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my powder puff and set with the Triple Fix. I will say I'm glad I used the light neutral 3 shade in the concealer, because after blending out, it even dispersed lighter than the shade that it swatched. So I fear like if I had used the deeper shade, I definitely wouldn't have gotten any brightening. So that's one side set. I think the powder did help a little bit with brightening as well. So I'm going to go ahead and catch this eye up to speed. I am going to apply a little down the center of my nose and a little on my forehead just to hopefully brighten it up a bit. I will say the foundation, I did drag it down my neck a little bit and it's got a little bit of oxide, like it oxidized a little bit, so maybe the shade is a touch too deep for me, but I can definitely make it work. I'm just going to brighten up some areas with this concealer though. And then I'm going to go ahead and set the rest of my face with my powder. And then I'm just going to take my sponge and go over everywhere to help pick up any excess product. I do like that setting powder. Like, I feel like my face is definitely set and very smoothed out. Even though it's the translucent shade, I do feel like it's got a little bit of coloring to it. But the only part that I don't like about that powder is I don't like it under my eyes. I feel like it really dried out my under eyes. And even with the very serum-y concealer, I still feel like my under eyes look pretty dry now. But everywhere else, that powder is very nice. Next, we're going to go into my favorite product from LYS Beauty that I've tried. This is their No Limits Matte Bronzer. I have raved about this before in previous videos of mine. This is a product I really, really enjoy from LYS Beauty. So I have the shade Motivate, which is the lightest shade. And again, it is just a matte bronzer. So I'm going to start by warming up my cheeks. And I will say this product is a bit warmer, so it's definitely not a contour shade. It's definitely meant as a full bronzer to warm your face back up. And I'm also going to apply some to my forehead. I love this bronzer. I just love the way that it blends. It's so smooth. It's easy. I'm also going to apply a little under my chin and my jawline. And just a smidge down my nose. I'm not the best at nose contouring, but I like a little color on the nose. And then I do like to go around everywhere with my sponge and just help everything blend. But honestly, this bronzer blends so smoothly. And today I'm going to do my highlighter first because the blush is a cream product. And I know what you're thinking, girl, you just set your entire face with powder. How are you going to wear a cream blush? Well, this is normally how I would do it, and I'm trying to give this blush just like a full new chance because I didn't like the shade of the first time that I tried it. So I'm going to do things on how I would normally do them, but because it's cream, I'm going to finish all my powder products, which next up is the Aim High Pressed Highlighter Powder. This is in the shade Brave, and it's kind of a more champagne-y color, but I think it is so stunning. I will say it reminds me a lot of the Becca Champagne Pop color, but I feel like this one has some more glitter flakes in it. They're not intense and they're not like hugely noticeable. They're just a little extra, but I really enjoy it. And I think it's a really pretty glow. and you can definitely build it up to be a little bit more intense. Did anyone call for a gold nose? I got a little heavy-handed on the tip of my nose there. But just like any other product, I still go over it with my sponge to help blend it into my skin and all the other products. Okay, my nose isn't so gold anymore. But just like the bronzer, the highlight just melts into your skin when you do this. It's beautiful. Okay, so the bronzers are the Higher Standard Satin Matte Cream Blush. So I originally picked up the shade Confident, which is this kind of like darker, rosy, cinnamony shade. At the time that I purchased this, it wasn't my favorite color. I don't think I really knew how to use rosy tones. I also thought it was maybe a little bit too deep for my skin tone. So to give it a second try, I picked up the shade Kindness, which I think is definitely a bit more peachy, orangey, light pink. So much lighter than the Confident shade, but a lot more peachy, but I think it'll just fit my vibe a little bit better. But I am going to use the back of my sponge, and I know I've got a full face of powder on, I'm aware, but I'm learning through my project pan that maybe I'm not a huge fan of cream products, so if I were going to wear a cream product, this is the most likely way that I would do it. So I just took some on the back of my sponge, and I'm just gonna press it on. And this way I will know, one, if it works over powder, and two, if it doesn't, it will show. But so far, that's really pretty. I definitely like this shade more. I do think it's applying over powder nicely. And I'm glad I applied the highlight first because I'm liking the like sheen that it's coming through the blush. I'm not surprised that it's super easy to blend because everything else has been so easy to blend. And then I'm just gonna dab a little like on my hairline, on my nose, and just a touch on my chin, just so everything looks a little bit more cohesive. But I do like this color a lot more. I think it's blending super easily, even over powder. So if you're a powder person but you want to try to use creams, this one is applying nicely. I would just use a very light hand and build it rather than going full force with the pigment. But I'm pretty happy with that. I like it. I am going to set my face. I'm going to be using my Milk Hydro Grip Set and Refresh Spray. To prime my eyes, I'm going to be using my Rare Beauty Eye Primer. And today I'm feeling like keeping things very monochromatic, so I'm going to go in with the blush again on the eyes. And I'm just going to start applying it in the crease area. I mean, even on the eyes, that blended out super easily. And I've actually decided I'm just going to apply it all over the lids. I will say this, I don't think works very well with eye primer. It definitely got a little patchy once I moved towards the lids, but I mean, it's still a pretty color. And then I am going to go back into the bronzer and just kind of go around the edges and also sweep that on the lower lash line. And I think we'll even go into the highlight again and just add an inner corner. I think I'm going to have to set the cream eyeshadow, the cream blush in my eyes because it is definitely creasing already. I think I'll just go in with a light dusting of the bronzer everywhere. Voila, the eyes. I know it's not a very intense look, it's not a very intricate look, but it's just nice, simple, and it keeps the face very monochromatic. So I'm going to add my brows and my mascara, and then we'll come back to finish up the lips. So I just wiped off any foundation that I had on my lips. I'm actually not going to be using lip liner today. We're going to keep it very simple. And I'm just going to go in with my Rare Beauty Lip Balm. This is in the shade Apricot, and I think it'll match the blush very nicely. Okay, it's a little more pink, but it'll work. And today is actually super hot, so I'm just going to leave my hair up because I took my dogs on a walk earlier and came back a hot, sweaty mess because I walked with my hair down, and I'm just not going to deal with it anymore. So we're leaving the hair up. This is our finished look. I hope you enjoyed this video. You'll have to let me know what your thoughts are about LYS Beauty and their brand, their whole aesthetic, and their products. Let me know if you tried any of their products out and your opinions on them. Do you love them? Do you dislike them? I know that the bronzer that I love to death, I've heard a lot of bad reviews on it, but it is one of my favorite bronzers, and I think it applied just beautifully today. I also really enjoy this pressed highlight, and I have not heard good things about this one either. The things that I have heard really good reviews on are the foundation, the concealer, and the blush, which I think is crazy because the blush are definitely my least favorite out of everything. And then I think the foundation and concealer are wearing very nicely. I like how my skin looks today. I do think my under eyes are a bit dry, but again, I've said that I don't like that powder under my eyes, but everywhere else looks so smooth and just beautiful. So aside from my under eyes, I think I'm having a very good makeup day actually. And I know I kept things pretty simple, but I really wanted to focus especially on LYS Beauty, and they don't have any eye products out that I'm aware of yet, so that's why we just did a whole monochromatic look. But again, I hope you enjoyed this video. You'll have to let me know if you did, and if you like more videos where we focus solely on one brand, I can definitely do more of these. Just let me know which brands that you want to talk about. Other than that, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out so much. Don't forget to ring the bell and hit all on your notifications, and you will be notified every time I post a video. I'm here on Tuesdays and Fridays, 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.